Welcome back. My name is AlexBeltran. I talk real estate, and the truth is, history is repeating itself. Kind of. Look, the truth is, market reports are very wrong, and the last time that they were this wrong was 2006, and we all know what happened after that. And look, I'm not saying that this is a repeat of that particular market. That market was fraud. What's going on today is very different, but the numbers, they're still pretty wonky. This is nothing new. This isn't an indictment on the real estate industry. The real estate industry is a slow-moving train. However, this happens in all levels of professional life. Companies hire statisticians to elevate their business. We hear these numbers all the time. It's the highest price since last Tuesday. It's the biggest drop since the 1950s, and that's just the stock market. Imagine the MLB, who's like notorious for dumb stats, like the most, home runs hit on a Tuesday on a full moon after bitten by a mosquito 2 or 3 times. I don't know. And in real estate, this was a true stat that was told to us during a sales meeting. The highest above asking sale prices within the first 10 days. And when you sit back and think about that, when you think to yourself, well, yeah, the longer a property stays on the market, the less likely it is to get an above asking price. But whatever it takes to motivate the grunts, I guess, right?
What's your sole purpose in this army?
To do whatever you tell me, drill sergeant.
And look, what I'm getting at is that I personally don't believe that there's nefarious reasons behind any of these numbers. I honestly believe that a lot of the times it's just businesses trying to put their best foot forward. However, the downstream repercussions of these numbers is what I want to point out. As many of you may know, I'm a real estate advisor and a real estate investor. I'm constantly looking at the new properties that hit the market. I'm constantly driving around in different neighborhoods trying to find the for sale by owners, pre-foreclosures, coming soon, anything like that. And after a while of looking, you begin to realize that there are little patterns that begin to develop. In being in real estate, I get to see how the sausage is made, so to speak. And what I'm beginning to notice is that a lot of the numbers that are being reported aren't accurate to what's going on the ground.
Wow, it's down. It's down 3 points since last year. That's weird. I haven't heard a peep about that.
You see, one of the biggest indicators is DOM, days on market. The shorter days on the market, the hotter the market is. The longer the days on the market, the softer the real estate market is. And days on market is what tends to be toyed around the most. Real estate agents try to cancel a listing and then relisting it the next day in hopes to reset that DOM timer, or, other nefarious different ways. Granted, a lot of, local MLS boards have kind of tamped down on this type of practice. However, where there's a will, there's a way. Just ask YouTube and their war on ad blockers. Not going well. However, a lot of brokerages right now are toying with this number in the form of coming soon and pocket listings. Naughty, naughty. Whenever a realtor has a listing contract, they have to submit that to the board. However, with pocket listings or, coming soons, a realtor submits a different form, basically telling the local board that, yes, I have this document signed on, let's say the 1st of November. However, this isn't going to be put on the market officially until the 25th or the 30th. And look, don't get me wrong, there are perfectly legitimate reasons for doing this, whether it's staging, deep cleaning. Sometimes, when people are going through some legal process, they can't legally sell a property until X amount of date or whatever the case may be. Basically, there's a lot of reasons why this would be a real situation. There's nothing illegal about it. But you can see how you can easily skew the numbers during this process, right? Because a real estate agent isn't going to be sitting on their hands until this property officially hits the market. No. We're fiduciaries. Our job is to do what's in the best interest of the client, and selling the property, when we're told to sell the property, is in the best interest of the client, and we're not going to do nothing. During this time, a lot of real estate agents, let their local office know, and maybe a couple of key real estate agents throughout the city that they know might have a client for this type of property. Back in like 2006, 2007 time, there was a real estate brokerage that was notorious for doing this. They were borderline unethical. I'm not going to say the brokerage's name, but let's just say it rhymes with Weller Killiams. Once again, all good, but you can begin to see how this turns into a problem when you start to abuse that system. Because I've personally seen properties that are vacant, ready to be put on the market, and then like a month later, they get put on the market officially, and then that day or even the next day, they're pending. Surprise, surprise. Mostly I'm against the skewing of the numbers. Look, officially that property was on the market for 1 to 2 days, but in reality, that property was being shown for the past 30 days, which means that it took a while for people to actually submit an offer. Now, you must be saying, well, I still don't get it. That property was on the market unofficially for 30, 31, 30, whatever the case may be, much longer than the official 1 to 2 days, which means that the real estate market isn't as on fire as what you think it is. It's actually softer. And look, how do I know? Because in the areas that I've been monitoring, more than 45 houses have been put on the market in this manner, which is up from 6 the last couple of months. And that's just in the markets that I'm personally monitoring. Imagine the markets that I'm not monitoring. How many of those are out there? You see, the last time this became very popular was in 2006. Admittedly, I didn't have my real estate license at that time, but my dad had his broker's license, and I was at his office constantly, and they were talking about this exact phenomenon. Little did they know what would happen in the following years. Now, look, to be fair, I'm not saying that the end is nigh and that there's a crash coming within the near future. That's not where I'm going with this. All I want you to know is that when you're looking at all of these numbers, know that there's a level of sugarcoating that is going on, and that the numbers are slightly worse than what is being projected. The average day on market is slowly creeping up, and the amount of home sales is slowly creeping down. However, and this is a very, very important thing to take into consideration, the National Association of Realtors, Keeping Current Manners, Bigger Pockets, and a bunch of other independent researchers agree that 25% of homeowners have a 3% interest rate, 66% of homeowners have an interest rate of 5% or less, and 30% of homeowners don't have a mortgage and are fully paid off. The chances that they need to sell is very slim to none. You have to listen to this part very clearly. In order for there to be a crash, there has to be an overwhelming amount of sellers that are distressed. And simply put, we're not seeing it. Even if there's some level of distress, people will stop paying their cars, their cell phones, their food bills, their electric bills before they ever consider not paying their mortgage. Hey, look, I get it. A lot of people must have thought, he's going to say that the market's going to crash and then, flop. Look, so now what? Does this mean you stop buying real estate? The answer is clearly no. No, you don't. You now go into the real estate market knowing more than the average buyer, which allows you to make better offers. Because the more you know, the better decisions that you can make. Right now is the time to be very aggressive with your real estate offers. Don't be afraid to piss a couple people off, because just you wait when interest rates go down, because that means that prices are going to spike up. And the only thing worse than a market crashing down is a market crashing up. A reverse crash for the financially savvy. All right, great. So you got this information. What do you do with it? Well, right now, honestly, is the time to become more ruthless with your offers and try to get as many properties as possible. Right now is the time for subject to and seller financing. This is going to be where you're going to be able to negotiate even the interest rate, which is a very, very interesting thing to negotiate, especially in comparison to the 8% that the banks are offering you. Do a lot of due diligence when you take this route. I highly recommend that you talk to an accountant and a lawyer if you're going to take that route. But now you know that the numbers aren't exactly what they seem, and you have an edge on the buyer standing next to you. Take full advantage of that information. Anyway, that's it for me. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.